All right. Welcome, everybody. By all means, I should be asleep because, well, I got to be up early to work. But that's a me problem. For all of you lucky souls here today, I caught this right before I was going to bed and shout Rex Bear over at Leak Project. This is Los Alamos, famous for the nuclear development, but the similarities between and it kills me to say the name, but he does do good work of documenting this stuff throughout Malta as well as the UK and Egypt, Paul Cook's work. And well, here we have what Rex has found in Los Alamos, New Mexico. And I was like, even before I saw it, I was like, it's going to be white and red limestone and white and red sandstone. And it's going to be the polygonal style of geopolymer. And sure enough, that's what we find. And it looks identical to like Cappadocia and rest out there. And look at those holes, and like just like Paul Cook shows in like Malta, and like look at that, the carving, like that's electrical work from the ancients, the exact same stuff that Paul shows throughout Europe and West Asia. Like look at that, it's the exact same stuff. There's no denying it. It is what it is, and it is exactly that. And look at this. You can see, and this is what got me so intrigued, is that hopefully my mouse is showing, but like up here, like literally that's where like pipes and cables used to go. And it's just like what Paul Cook has documented and shown on the other side of the world. And here we have evidence of the global pre-cataclysm civilization. And it's the exact same stuff that I suspect to be at writing on stone in Alberta. And see right here again, and shout out Wandering Wolf. And this is why I had to make this. Live disclosure, shout out Rex's hike today at Los Alamos. Like these, and Rex also on point intuitively, knowing that these are agricultural, but aqua, water, irrigation channels that are carved out. They're not the cart ruts, they're not people's pathways, they are ancient water ways, just like we see in Peru, just like we see everywhere in the world. Like those, yes, the actual carved out foot ladders, yes, that is for feet, but the others, no. And look at that. There you go. There's the red sandstone, of course. When the white limestone underneath, it's always the exact same. And like, look at this. This is an ancient megalithic macro site. It is absolutely wild. Aquifers, exactly. And this is, it's just cooked out. But look at, like, that's ancient. Look at this. And like normally they'd be like, that's a cart rut. Look at that. That is a one-wheeled cart rut. No, that's irrigation channels. Sketchy, shady ladders, of course, right? They actually don't want people trying to get out here and see this. And like, why did it blow up at Los Alamos originally? Because look at this. This is like, look at that. It's like gutters. Like that's fucking, pardon my language, but that is wild. And it's throughout. It's just, this is mind blowing. And Michael Collins Wandering Wolf, you need to go here. You need to document this, because this is the site that blows it wide open with all of the other works that you have done and found around the world, from China to Turkey to this to Malta to Egypt, everywhere he has been. Yeah, it's glitching, right? They're glitching me hard on this. But look at this. This is Los Alamos, New Mexico. And look at the intricacy of the engineering of all of this. Like, that's ancient aquifers and irrigation engineered to the max. And they try to say carved out, but it was more likely poured. They just had the technology of geopolymer, like we have our weak concrete today, and why it's documented that Roman concrete from 2,000 years ago, exponentially stronger than our own. It still lasts. It's thousands of years old, and it's a type of geopolymer process. And yeah, so it is lost higher building technology of the ancients, and this site shows it on a macro scale. Yeah, not sure. We are sure on that. Canadian internet, it is filtered, it is censored, it is glitchy, it is horrible and slow. And right, oh yeah. And
you'll notice to the left,
yeah.
You got this guy right here.
Petroglyph.
Small guy with antennas. See that? And then right next to him, you see somebody else, definitely larger. And then in the center there, it looks like the chief. You can tell by his headdress or the way his hair is set up there, the two feathers. Also got some X's here. Some people have talked about that possibly being Knights Templar to the cross. I didn't notice that before. There's a couple of crosses in there actually. See, 1, 2, possibly 3 with a snake. And there's another cross down here, right there. They're friendly, they're waving. This guy's got one arm up. It looks like one arm down. He's got his right arm up and his left arm down. You'll see that in similar statues, or you'll see that in other statues, all the way from George Washington to Baphomet. And Jesus has the peace sign pointing upwards sometimes in 1600 and upwards depictions. That's really cool. Really, really cool. What an amazing panel right there.
Paused it here just because it's like these sort of what they say are breaks, but it's like, no, this is geopolymer. Like, that's a path up. And there, oh man, this is just like what we see in South America and what I have found in Canada in the Rockies. And like, the mountains are fortress cities of a bygone civilization. Or maybe the giants.
So the alternate route we could take
are still there.
Let's go this way. Now let's take the ladder.
Again, have to pause this here because it's like, that looks like Europe. That looks like France. That looks like any megalithic site across the Atlantic. There's no doubt about it. and that these would be called cart ruts. And again, shout out to Wandering Wolf and everything he's documented, in that these are irrigation. And just like Rex here is saying, also clearly irrigation. Look at, it's just so
How deep that is.
And I'll just mute him for a moment. Yes, Angel Wings sister, I saw that. I will be going through it, and just been working doing the snow removal past several days, and have got to get onto them. But yeah, it was about plasmoids and the orbs, and yes, we need to do a plasma orb episode together this week. Give me a few more days and I should know my schedule and the weather, and yeah, we will get that done though, because it needs to be. And the fact, sister, that you're able to document them, capture them clearly in images over and over again, and essentially like summon them like with the intent and knowledge of it. All right, so here I'm pausing it again because this is exactly what I show and postulate in Alberta Badlands, and that's writing on stone, very similar. I call it the Cappadocia of Canada, and that these are all underground, under mountain mega city projects that were built on an absolutely macro scale. Like, look at that. Oh, whoa, just boom. You got a perfect entry in. Yeah. And another one up there, and up there, and up there. And it's like, and you look a little closer and you start to see the actual monuments and the carvings. And lots of them are blown to smithereens intentionally. And then, of course, it's like it's at least tens of thousands of years of actual weathering and erosion, if not hundreds, if not millions, depending what macro mega pre-builder civilization did all of this terraforming, and was able, the civilization that was the worldwide mountain pyramid builders, right? Because it's like the mountain pyramid builders. Those, we can't do that today, and we're just coming to terms with the fact that they exist and the scope that the pyramid mountains actually are. All right. Rex is saying,
See that?
These are runes from a former glorious civilization. Look at that perfect engineering out there. Wow. It is beautiful.
Energy out here is amazing.
Right? It's like, oh,
You look at all these rocks.
Pumped up, like the energy charges you up until the sun starts going down, and then you're like, oh my God, who's watching me? It's as if they're still inhabited not by human Homo sapiens sapien. It's like there's lots of different stories. And then when you're actually out in these sites, my God, does the energy change from like the most energizing, like charged epic during the daytime to spook the hell out, gotta get out with your life immediately as soon as the sun sets. It's, yeah. And we'll see we'll see Rex start to hightail it out as the sun starts to set too.
Yeah.
Like, look at that. It's like the geopolymer, the ancient advanced concrete. Irrigation. Boom. It's absolutely amazing. Right, Rachel? Me too. And shout out to Rex Bear for showing this. It's national park right outside Los
You
Alamos.
can see the irrigation system goes down that way.
And Mike
And down this
Water
way.
Wolf, you need to go
Follow the
explore this
trail,
place.
man.
As does Dutch Sense, as do myself when I
Look at this.
do my American tour this summer, hopefully.
Isn't this cool? Down here are some
Look at that.
dwellings carved into
Dwellings throughout. It's
like here's
wild.
the foot trail, it looks like goes down there. There's some more petroglyphs up here too, if I remember right. Yeah, look at these.
Like, look, caves.
Little
Oh,
dwellings
wait.
in here.
Oh, actually, they're
Check this
houses.
out.
These are
So you go in
perfect
here.
houses, just like what Paul Cook has documented and shown in Malta and in the UK and like throughout all of Europe and the Mediterranean. It's freaking crazy. And here Rex is showing them,
X's.
showing exactly
Little storage
the same
pit
stuff.
down in there.
As polygonal,
Got a light coming in.
large scale
And another light
geopolymer.
coming in there.
And yeah, like look at this.
Light.
Just like Paul Cook shows.
Coming in here. Check this out.
Like you even see
Cool.
the for like the pipes and the wine. Like it's
Then
wild.
little cubby over here to the left.
Like look at that. See this right here. This is what Paul Cook shows, and it's like it's from ancient piping or wiring.
Bin.
And look, oh, even right there, that's that iron sheet that goes between this block and this block. Like this is the
You can see like this. Like this is cool.
This is built. It's not carved. This is built by design of a past super ancient advanced civilization. Like there's your piping there again. Just it blew my mind. I was like, wow, this truly is smoking gun evidence. Exactly what it kills me to say Paul Cook, but shout out Paul Cook. Look at that. Fucked up the stream as soon as I said his name. Here we go. There, back in point. Enough of that. Shout out to Rex Bear and what Rex has documented in Los Alamos. Like, this is what you see in Peru and the Andes. Real, like, it's just, this is insane. And these are everywhere. All the Badlands. Those are the Canadian Badlands. And it's like, what was actually blown up in Los Alamos? And what's found, right? Like, if this is Cappadocia of America, is there like the Kuyu, the already existing 10-story, 20-story underground cities, ancient cities that are underneath all of it? You know, is that what's actually going on at Los
You see
Alamos?
the foot hold to go around that spot.
Like, and this is extensive.
So cool out here, man. So cool. Check this out.
Inspiration Rex. And look, yeah, look at that. Oops.
So cool.
But yeah, see, like that, I guarantee all the exact same. Like these are every single freaking apartments. Look at this. That is ancient megalithic polygonal work. These are ruins. But then it's like you find houses
Pathway
in
up
it.
there.
And just like Paul Cook shows, he's like, these are freaking ancient apartment complexes. It's exactly what this is. Exactly what it is on a worldwide system. Literally everywhere. Hidden in plain sight. Look at it. It's plumbing.
That root
It's not a root. That's where a pipe went, probably.
from this tree.
The root probably went in.
Cool.
It's guaranteed. Some cataclysm came in, wiped all of this out. Funny, right? They try to be like, oh, we were simple cavemen. But it's like, yeah, no. They literally built the mountains and the caves. Like, they built it from the ground up. Like, it was super advanced. The cavemen were the smartest. They were probably giants. They probably could still be in their mountain cave city fortresses. Who knows? Freaking wild. But they weren't just like, oh, what is this fire? No, it was like, this is geopolymer. We're building the whole freaking mountain, valley, everything.
Yeah, there's supposed to be some more around here.
Oh, looks like alchemy symbols. Interesting. Right? Or it's like, is it reptilian? Is it the ant people? Is it the crab people? Who actually knows? Or is it the dwarfs and the little peoples? Or a combination of all of the different hominid species that there's records of, stories of, and still experiences of to this day. Like, look at this. Like, that is a wall, and then the inside, like, that is the facing. Like, that's. Yeah. Shout out John Levi. He's
This
probably
panel I
like,
was looking for.
it's a mountain
Check out this
apartment.
panel.
The mountain tower.
Spears,
Yeah.
possibly a map.
Like, it actually is.
The sun spiral at the top.
Right? More people.
Ant head man.
Oh,
Yep, there's
ant head man carved into
right there
it.
in the
So
center.
it's like,
And somebody next to him, waving, possibly a chief with the two feathers.
Anthropomorphic
Some other anthropomorphs
figures
below him.
into these areas. Could it be like telling the story of who built
So
it and who
cool.
lives in them still? Maybe.
Here's some more. Look at this guy.
Look at that guy indeed. And what's crazy is it's like very similar to a couple of the Crespi golden pieces even had what looked like these guys. And it's like they're horned, almost look like the devil, like with a pitchfork. It's kind of crazy.
He's got
like these horns and stuff.
a staff or something. Somebody above him almost looks like a wing. That's interesting. Very cool.
And like, look at that. Like, and the people carving those are not the same people that built the irrigation system and the caves and the apartments in the mountains. No, those are the survivors or after inhabitants. And even those are 10,000 years. Oops. Apology. I'm like, oh. Pause, Rex, pause. He's starting to make his fast descent. But, oh, God. Darn it. Hopping all over the place. Oops. Where were we? Where were we? I don't know. Oh, yeah. Here we go. Here we go. Starts the descent. He's running hard. Run hard. Good on you, Rex. But, all right, looking up. Bam, there we go. That's what I wanted to pause at. Look at that. Those are cave apartment. Like those, that's Cappadocia style. That could be, you know, just the entrance and Darren Kuyu underneath it. And that it's ancient as F. And yeah, this is Los Alamos. Yeah, that's where they did the nuclear testing. So it's like, what else did they blow up? And how much ancient underground pre-existing infrastructure are they
Look up there.
using?
There.
Because look at this.
Boom. Check that out.
Like, this is Paul Cook's work, only this is Los Alamos. Not Malta, not the UK, not Egypt. But it is close, writing on stone. Well, in comparison to those other places. And that's what I find there too. Yes. And like it looks like Malta. Well, that's because it's the same constructed macro terraformed geopolymer it's both polygonal megalithic blockwork and geopolymer. That's why there's so many bubbles everywhere. Like the concrete, when you're pouring concrete and you have your boards, all right, that is what all of these lines are from. Okay, that's where the wood was when you poured it. Like it's anyone that does construction, and I do construction now, and that's from the literally Roman concrete making up all of the mountains. All right. Some other previous to them super civilization, and it's built to last because it's still here today. Just absolutely wild. Okay, if you missed what I just said, so all right, gotta pause it here. So what I'm saying is today, if you work construction, you know that. All right, so you have like your frame with the wood, right? Your rebar in there, you pour the concrete in, and then you have the wood that is then taken out, and it's like you have these straight lines going everywhere. They're like, it's the wood from the form when you pour your concrete, just like when they pour this geopolymer. And that is why it has a straight 90-degree edge, okay? That is not a quarry. That was a form that was poured, and that is why you have it in that perfect 90-degree block. Boom, baby. Simplest thing makes sense. That's why it also goes in like this. That's also why it goes like that. There was wood boards from the form when the geopolymer was poured. And it's funny because Rex here literally at this point is like mocking. He's like, oh, look, it's an ancient
quarry where
it's
they
an
took
ancient
giant
quarry. No, it's not an ancient quarry, and he knows that. But it's that. Why is it
rocks for
like
them
this? No, nature doesn't freaking make these 90 degrees. It's
megaliths.
because it was. This
See
is
the
megalith.
perfect angle?
It's geopolymer. All right, that is why it is poured into the form boxes. That is why you have these extra lines going, because it was poured in, and that was wood that was the form that was removed afterwards. All right, look at that. That's makes all the perfect sense in the world. So yeah, just explained it. Just explained what you're seeing everywhere and why you have all of these straight lines, like boom, boom. Yeah, that's for the wood from
I
when
want to
you
get out of
poured
here.
it, or they poured it. All right. So now you know, now you can spot it for yourselves when you're out and about and you see it, and you're like, oh, this is ancient polygonal geopolymer. And see that right there? Like, that's not just this perfect natural split that somehow happened and these perfect freaking straight edges everywhere. No, those are leftovers from the forms of the wood when they poured it all. And that makes sense. And that's why you also see all these perfect, like, caves and roses and everything's perfect blocks, because it was all mass poured. And it was and still is super advanced. Like, want to freaking go live in some of these, renovate them up, because they're literally tens of thousand-year-old apartment buildings that still have the irrigation into them, and there's terraces everywhere so you can grow your own food. We just got to do a little fixing up and understand what is in front of us and what our ancestors have left. See, like, oh, he's pointing out those lines. Yeah, that's the foundation. That was the forms. That was the wood when you poured it. And it all makes sense now. Okay, these straight lines going all the way through. Yeah, that was the form that, yeah, exactly. The foundations are poured, and that's why it is the way that it is. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. And it's literally everywhere. And this world was built. It's crazy. And the question is, by who? And they must have been massive, because they've been building the mountains and the mountain pyramids. Like, look at that. Like, that's all form. It's not erosion. I was built like that. And, shout out to Paul Cook, because without his research and discoveries and documentation of what he found in Malta and Europe and Jordan and Egypt, when you're seeing this, wouldn't be able to recognize it instantly for what it is. And also shout out Wandering Wolf for also documenting all of these sites all over the world, going to Turkey, going to China, going to Peru, going to Texas, even though he lives in Texas, but he's gone to all of the different sites and continues to, and he needs to go to this site. I need to get to this site. Everyone needs to get to this Los Alamos site and discover it for what it is. Oh my God, it's 2:30 in the freaking morning a.m. My ass needs its bed so I can go survive the minus 30 degrees plus wind chill, working doing snow removal in a few hours time. Yay! So if Canada joins America and becomes the 51st state, like, will global warming just erase Canada's snow, and will it be like beautiful, like where Rex is in New Mexico here, or am I just living in a pipe dream? Because really, 3/4 of the U.S., including Texas, was under snow just like a week ago. So yeah, Rex is blessed to be out in Los Alamos with that sort of weather, and good on him for taking advantage of it and bringing this site and this right here, like these straight evident geopolymer irrigation channels. And look at this. That is where the wood was. That's where your form, when you poured the blocks, are. And that's why it all makes sense now. It's just ancient, super advanced concrete, and they literally poured all of this. Like, that's from broken off. So these would be like tens of thousands, and whoever built the originals, like, look at that. And right, once you see it, you can't unsee it, of what was poured and the foundations, the markings of how it was made. Just absolutely mind-blowing to me. And I think this is the smoking gun evidence of a worldwide macro mega builder civilization. She's starting to freeze up, and I need to go to sleep anyways, so we will call her a day or a night. We got some titanium monoatomic right in front of you there, and then some titanium silver oxide in the blue one in the middle. And I am literally falling asleep. So on that note, love y'all. Have a blessed week. Ta-ta.
You crazy mother. Yeah.
It's just BurnEye.
Hey, Bernie, just like last week, huh?
Weekend at Bernie's.
I have to add that, yes, I've actually done several episodes with Michelle Gibson